Can you believe that a working class kid from Birmingham, England, once imprisoned for petty theft and mocked for his dyslexia, would go on to become one of the most legendary, outrageous, and influential figures in rock history? Ozzy Osbourne, born John Michael Osbourne on December 3rd, 1948, would come to be known as the Prince of Darkness, a pioneer in heavy metal, and a global celebrity whose influence reached far beyond the stage. But Ozzy's story isn't just one about music. It's about reinvention, family fame, resilience, and unparalleled marketing genius. Let's dive into the story of Ozzy Osbourne. In the late 1960s, Ozzy Osbourne, with his schoolmates Tony, Geezer, and Bill, would form a band known as Earth, which would later become Black Sabbath. The group's self titled debut album was released in 1970 and is widely considered the birth of heavy metal. Their use of dark themes, downturned guitars, and Ozzy's haunting vocals carved out a brand new genre of psychedelic rock during an age where nothing like this had been heard before. Ozzy and Black Sabbath found their niche. With albums like Paranoid, Masters of Reality, and Volume 4, which would all come out in the early 70s, Sabbath became titans of the rock world. Songs like Iron Man, War Pigs, and Paranoid became anthems of a whole generation. They became faces of the youth around the world who believed and loved in heavy metal. They also became part of the horror culture, and due to Ozzy and Black Sabbath's incredible marketing, really connected themselves with this dark theme that would be seen by some as scary, but as others as beloved. But behind the scenes, Ozzy and Black Sabbath had their issues. Drugs and alcohol were tearing Ozzy apart. After nearly a decade with Black Sabbath, he would be fired from the band in 1979, largely due to his substance abuse problems and growing tensions within the group. This was seen as a low point in Ozzy's career, but it would not be the end of his career. After hitting rock bottom, the only path forward would be up, and he would have a dramatic turn after he would meet Sharon Arden, the daughter of music manager Don Arden. Sharon not only believed in Ozzy's talent, she pushed him to revive his career and managed him to superstardom. With releases like Blizzard of Oz in 1980, Ozzy proved he wasn't just the voice of Black Sabbath, he could become a standalone phenomenon. Blizzard of Oz and its follow up, Diary of a Madman in 1981, introduced guitarist Randy Rhoads, whose neoclassical shredding became a hallmark of Ozzy's sound. The albums produced hits like Crazy Train, Mr. Crawley, and went multi-platinum. Tragically, Rhoads would die in a plane crash in 1982, but Ozzy would press on with his friend's legacy in mind and the support of Sharon. Throughout the 1980s and 90s, Ozzy released a string of successful albums like Bark at the Moon and The Ultimate Sin. But Ozzy wasn't done with that. He would win multiple Grammys and become a face of what was seen as the 90s metal punk rock era. He was growing more and more, but there could be more done, and Sharon, the marketing genius, knew this. She knew Ozzy had potential to go even bigger, to keep growing as a family and as a team. Sharon understood that there was more to marketing and merchandising than just the shock value that Ozzy was providing, like the time he infamously bit off the head of a bat accidentally in 1982, or like the time when he would be faced with lawsuits and controversy over his satanic lyrics or his song Suicide Solution, which would bring about lawsuits. But this would all boost his notoriety. But Sharon understood that she needed to help Ozzy move away from all of this to help him grow as a person, because he was not just a savvy performer in a dark persona. He was a marketing tool and a musical genius, and Sharon knew that she could take him further through things like merchandising and marketing through the branding of Ozzy Osbourne. In 1996, when Ozzy was rejected by mainstream festivals like Lollapalooza, Sharon Osbourne responded by launching Ozfest, a heavy metal touring festival headlined by Ozzy himself. Ozfest became one of the most profitable and influential festivals in rock history, giving bands like Slipknot, System of a Down, and Lamb of God their big breaks. Ozzy also pioneered rock merchandising from t shirts to action figures to posters, video games, lunchboxes. If you knew it, if you saw it, if you went to a store, it was sure to have Ozzy branding on it. Ozzy became a multi-million-dollar machine. His branding was so significant and so influential in the rock community, just like that of Kiss, just like that of the Beatles, and just like that of the Rolling Stones. Ozzy could put his face on Mount Rushmore as a marketing and merchandising tool, as a marketing and merchandising genius, not just a musical icon anymore. He became the face, the figure of heavy metal. Though he was an incredible musician and the face of a music genre, if you ask anyone who lived in the early 2000s, nothing was more iconic, more revolutionary than the 2002 MTV TV show, The Osbournes. This was a revolutionary show. It was truly the first ever celebrity reality show to hit networks, and people loved it. They loved the concept of the chaotic Ozzy Osbourne living his life with his family. What made this work? What made the show so successful? The fact that even though Sharon and Ozzy were wealthy, they were rich, they were living in California, they still dealt with the day to day chaos of their children. It created personalities, personas for the entire family. It was not just a TV show, it was a calculated decision for marketing and merchandising purposes to help the Osbournes gain more fame and grow their stardom even further. Their fan base would take off. People who didn't even like Ozzy Osbourne's music were watching the show just to see how Ozzy would react. The TV show not only helped Ozzy stay relevant during a time period where many were saying heavy metal music was dying out, but it would also propel the fame of both Jack and Kelly. Jack would go on to be the host of several television shows and being the brainchild behind many paranormal shows that you might see on TV. And Kelly would go on to propel her career into the world of fashion with Fashion Police and also Dancing with the Stars and judging on Australia's Got Talent. Both of these individuals, the children of Ozzy and Sharon, would become stars in their own right, thanks to this television show, thanks to the chaotic energy of their parents. Ozzy's fame and celebrity never truly died off throughout the 2000s and even into the 2010s and 2020s. Ozzy would stay relevant, doing interviews, making music, and also connecting with other younger bands around the world. But Ozzy would also spend more time with his family, build relationships, and also become a grandfather. Ozzy Osbourne had a full and fruitful life. He was one of the greats, not only in music, but actually a great person off the stage as well. One of my personal favorite things that Ozzy was involved in was the show Osbournes Want to Believe, where Sharon and Ozzy would talk to Jack about paranormal happenings and they would give it an Oogie Boogie rating on a scale. And many times it was both hilarious and thought provoking to hear Ozzy's thoughts on these paranormal happenings. What are your thoughts on Ozzy Osbourne's career? Is he one of the greats of all time? He's seen as a hero in the world of heavy metal and also as a pioneer in the world of reality television. Let us know in the comments below if you loved Ozzy and what your favorite song was. Thank you so much for watching Believable Truths.